Hello. So today we are going to learn and we are going to discuss and analyze NEET 2015 May edition का paper. So इसमें है क्या? I went through the entire paper. I found few sums of biology which were a bit difficult, bit tricky, and थोड़ा सा उसमें person often tends to lose focus on the questions. So what exactly are the questions all about and what is the concept is what we are going to see today. So let's begin. Firstly, this bioka paper was really easy. There were hardly few questions which were out of syllabus. So yeah, let's see. Alright, so the very first question which we see is male gametes are flagellated in. Now, flagellated यानी flagella, presence of flagella हमको देखना है. Now, as you can see here, जो Polysiphonia है, it is a red algae. Polysiphonia is a red algae, and you know red algae lack flagella. They do not have any flagella. We come to Anabina. Anabina is what you can say nitrogen fixation bacteria. Alright, तो अगर ये बैक्टीरिया है तो उसमें सबसे पहले तो सेक्सुअल रिप्रोडक्शन होगा, लेकिन इतना नहीं होगा, वो पिलाई का ट्रांसफर से होगा. So वो भी ऑप्शन तुम्हारा चला गया. Then we come to Ectocarpus. Ectocarpus is a brown algae, and yes, it shows flagella in its gametes. So Ectocarpus is the answer. But let's just see fourth option, which is Spirogyra. And Spirogyra hai kya? Spirogyra, as we know, is non-flagellated. It has non-flagellated gametes. Hence, Spirogyra 2 would not be the answer. So the answer is Ectocarpus. All right, what's the answer? Ectocarpus. Now, let's move ahead. Let's see. Okay, the next question is transmission tissue is a characteristic feature of. Before going on to the question, let's understand what exactly a transmission tissue is. Transmission tissue belongs to a solid style. What does that mean? In plants which contain transmission tissue or solid style, it is actually covered with densely packed cytoplasm. Cytoplasm and cytoplasmic cells. So you know, जो dividing cells होते हैं वो densely packed होते हैं, because of which the pollen tubes grow. The pollen tubes grow इससे. Hence, transmission tissue is a characteristic of a solid style. और style hollow होगा तो उससे वो tissue या वो pollen tube इतना अच्छे से नहीं हो पाएगा. Alright, let's move ahead. What is the most common mechanism of genetic variation in a sexually reproducing population? Okay, let's see. Transduction, no, because that's not most common. Bacteria show transduction. Viruses, baculoviruses show transduction. Do we show? No. Then chromosomal aberrations. Chromosomal aberrations are kind of mutations, and we don't seem to reproduce because of mutations. Then we come to genetic drift. Genetic drift is purely random, just goes idhar udhar idhar udhar. So hence even that is not a common method. Hence recombination is very common, and hence we have learned it in my meiosis ka chapter. In meiosis we find recombination, and where do we find recombination happening? During the prophase 1 of meiosis. Of meiosis 1, definitely. So yeah, hence that should be the answer, recombination. Let's move ahead. The technique of micropropagation. Alright, let's see. The technique of micropropagation is, firstly, to understand this question, we need to figure out what exactly micropropagation means. Micropropagation matlab, you take a cell, alright, you take out a somatic cell, and you give it all the hormones it needs, you give it all important essential things needed for its growth. You do that, and then you get a plant. That is what micropropagation is. In vitro propagation, which is an ex situ thing, obviously. So that is what micropropagation exactly means. Now, if we come to somatic hybridization and protoplasm fusion is one and the same. How? Have you heard of pomato? Yes, pomato is a hybrid of tomato and potato. So somatic hybridization and protoplasmic fusion दोनों भी एक तरह का ही भाग है. When we come to somatic embryogenesis, let us keep this on hold for once. First, embryo rescue. Embryo rescue is not our concept as of such, so hence we really don't need to remember this. So yeah, the answer finally is not protoplasm fusion, but it is somatic embryogenesis. I had marked this answer in my test as protoplasm fusion, but this is wrong. So the real answer is somatic embryogenesis. Let's see. The crops engineered for glyphosate are resistant or tolerate to. Okay, so to first understand this question, let's see what glyphosate is. Glyphosate is actually an N-glucosamine wala kind of thing, kind of structure, which is found in like it is used as a protective against herbicides, against all those herbs which you find unwanted. So yeah, so it is tolerant to the herbicides. The crops which are engineered for glyphosate are generally tolerant to the herbicides. All right, let's move ahead. Which of the following induces protoplasmic fusion? So yeah, this is something which you need to remember, which is polyethylene glycol and sodium nitrate. Polyethylene glycol is also called as PEG. So this is the answer. You need to remember this, as nobody would actually explain it to you at this point of time, to be honest. So just remember this. Now, which of the following is the main characteristic responsible for diversification of insects on land? Alright, diversification of insects on land. So the answer is its exoskeleton. We know they have very strong exoskeleton, hen, and it is made up of a very special sugar. Alright, so this is N-glucosamine. Just need to remember this, N, and it is exoskeleton. So yeah, because that's the strongest part, the tougher layer. So hence it helps for diversification of insects on land. Segmentation insects में भी है, annelids में भी है. तुम्हारा segmentation तो वो नहीं आएगा. Bilateral symmetry, there are many phylums, other phylums having bilateral symmetry. Eyes, oh come on, everybody does that. Everybody has eyes. So yeah, so what we're gonna mark up with this answer is exoskeleton. Then we move to the next question. Which of the following in humans does show viviparity? Endoparasite showing viviparity. What is viviparous? Viviparous means giving directly birth to the young one. Firstly, let's see. Ascaris to kabhi hoga nahi because there are eggs of Ascaris. Now, with something which is enterobius. Entero means your small intestine. So enterobius vermicularis. Okay, enterobius vermicularis, ankylostoma duodenal. ये कुछ नहीं है, सबसे बड़े बड़े नाम है, कुछ नहीं है, और तुमको ये आएगा कैसे, तुमको सीखना पड़ेगा, तुमको याद करना पड़ेगा. And at this point of time, nobody is really going to teach you all this what it means. To just remember, which is Trichinella spiralis. It is the only one showing viviparity, nothing else. And I guess this is कोई तो state textbook में like 12th standard में, hence they have asked this question. Otherwise, you should not expect this. This is an important one, by the way. The sterna, terga, and pleura of cockroach body are joined by arthrodial membrane. Arthrodial membrane is something which is very commonly seen in arthropods. Alright, so it is a very important membrane, and this has not been mentioned in the textbook, mind you. But yeah, this is something which is really common. And arthrodial membrane. और ऐसे समझ भी आता है, क्वेश्चन देख के ही समझ में आता है. सीमेंटिंग ग्लू करके कुछ नहीं. Muscular tissue, kind maybe, Cartilage, no. Why not cartilage, Anushka? Not cartilage because ये जो तुम्हारा प्लूरा, सोना, टर्गा है, ये cartilage नहीं है. ठीक है, तो cartilage और cartilage दो चीजों को जोड़ता नहीं है. Cartilage is like a separate organ. वो जोड़ने का काम सिर्फ या तो ligaments या तो tendon करेगा, या membrane for that matter. So only arthrodial membrane, and it's also इसमें arthropods भी शामिल है. So kind of we can guess that as an answer. And my answer, which I have guessed, was correct. Nuclear membrane is a derivative of the nuclear membrane is a derivative of rough endoplasmic reticulum. How do we know this? We have to remember it. And जो भी उसका भी, because see, also nucleus जो है ये यहाँ से direct continuation में आता है with rough endoplasmic reticulum, correct? So nuclear pore हो गया. This is called a nucleus. This is your nuclear membrane. So it is directly in continuation with your rough endoplasmic reticulum. Hence, rough endoplasmic reticulum should be considered as an answer. It will be a smart guess if you choose so. Now the next question, and yet NCERT में दिया है, so nothing much to worry about. Cytochromes are found in, even this has been mentioned in the NCERT. Cytochromes are found in the cristae of mitochondria. It has been mentioned in the NCERT. Let's move to the next. Okay, I got this question wrong. Let's see. A gymnast is able to balance his body upside down even in the total darkness, even in the absence of light, because of vestibular apparatus and not organ of Corti. I've asked this question to my sir. Once he gives a reply, we'll surely share it with you all. As of now, just remember the answer, vestibular apparatus. And anybody of you perhaps might be knowing the answer, you can surely let me know down in the comments. Moving to the next. The chemical signal that has both endocrine and neural roles is, now I had marked cortisol because I personally thought कि cortisol तो भाई तुम्हारा adrenal भी release करता है और तुमको cortisol, I had read once कि cortisol is important for like it is an important pregnancy hormone, so I had read that, but no, it is not like that. It is not like that. Epinephrine is an important thing, and why? Epinephrine is secreted by your adrenal medulla, middle medulla. So epinephrine, norepinephrine, which is also known as aldosterone, and you get that point. Adrenaline and noradrenaline, Anushka. Adrenaline, noradrenaline, epinephrine, norepinephrine. That's one and the same. So, like adrenaline equals to epinephrine, noradrenaline equals to norepinephrine. So, जो तुम्हारा epinephrine है, that is an endocrine gland of adrenal medulla. और neural role क्या play करता है? It plays an important role as it is a neurotransmitter. Now you know what a neurotransmitter is. So yeah, let's move ahead. Okay, which of these is not an important component of initiation of parturition in humans? Estrogen progesterone ratio is important. That leads to further, like all these recurrent occurring events. Synthesis of prostaglandins, yes, it is important. Release of oxytocin, of course it is important. Oxytocin के वजह से ही तो तुम्हारा pushing start होता है. Finally, release of prolactin, no. Mother does not start lactating as soon as she starts parturiting, right? Oh, is parturiting a word? I don't know. But no, you get my point, right? So release of milk is controlled by your prolactin, like release, formation, which you can say. So directly with the initiation of parturition, your milk does not come out. Hence, release of prolactin should be wrong. All right, let's move ahead. Alleles. Alleles are different molecular forms of a gene. We know that. How do we know this? जो तुम्हारा tall dwarf gene था tallness का, लेकिन allele क्या था? Tall dwarf. Allele gives you an option. Gene is the main characterizing property, but allele gives you an option, right? So you need to remember like this. So what is an allele? It is a different, it is like alleles are different molecular forms of gene. Let's move ahead. Gene regulation governing lactose operon of E. coli that involves lag IG. ये जो है ना एनसीईआरटी में तुम्हारा लैग का ऑपरॉन का पैराग्राफ खोलो लास्ट लाइन है I have done this wrong. But you know what the correct answer is? It is B, inducible. ये last line, I knew ये last line है, but I could not recollect कि repressible है या inducible. So yes, it is inducible, negative and inducible. Alright, ये lac operon का पैराग्राफ में जो लास्ट लाइन है ना, ये लास्ट लाइन वो है. वो लोग पॉजिटिव के बारे में भी बोलते हैं, but they have mentioned कि पॉजिटिव हमारे समझ के बाहर है, so they did not even bother putting it in. But yes, negative वाला दिया है, negative and inducible. Go and check the last line of your NCERT standard book. And which chapter? Obviously, yeah, chapter number 6. कुछ भी. Next. Okay, this is a question really important, and again, I don't know. I'll ask my sir this. This is a question which I just tried of attempting, but I seriously don't know whether it's right, whether it's correct or incorrect. So we'll let you know once I get to know from my sir. Aha! Rachel Carson's famous book, The Silent Spring, is related to. It is related to pesticide pollution. How did I know this? अनुष्का कैसे पता चला? गूगल करके, या तो फिर कोई दूसरा तरीका नहीं है इसको याद करने का. मे बी 2015 के उस एनसीईआरटी में कुछ होगा, लेकिन मेरे वाले 2018 का एडिशन में देयर वाज नॉट एनी मेंशन of Rachel Carson's famous book, The Silent Spring. If you find it, do let me know. I should start reading NCERT then. All right. So pesticide pollution is the answer. So yeah, that is up for today. I hope you liked this. And I think and I really hope कि जितना सब है important चीजें of biology of NEET 2015 make a paper, I have kept it in front of you all. Yeah, I thought this was a bit tricky paper, but इतना भी ज़्यादा difficult नहीं था. It was like okay-ish. So yeah, all the best, do well and chuck the fatte. All right, chalo, bye. Take care. See ya.